And it's like when they're sitting in that, I mean, let's come to the lockup scene. I guess we know why Farjaad is a great romantic hero. We've established it. He gets to be vulnerable in love. He gets to laugh at himself. When they're sitting in that car,
Yeah.
and he's quiet. He does the Chalein Mrs. Farjaad Khan, and like at that point, even then, it's so sweet. She's embarrassed. Of course, she's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Anyone would
She
be.
is.
Anyone
This
would
is
be.
the first time we see Umeed being actually shy in
Yeah,
love.
actually shy. Like she's blushing. She's shy, and you wouldn't be if you didn't like this boy. If you
Yeah.
just lied about some guy to come bail you out, you wouldn't be shy about the fact that you've told
And
everything. कि तुम्हारा मियाँ
अच्छा, and like they didn't even play it as like, Umeed saying अच्छा अब आप free भी ना हो और इस तरह के लगते. No, she's cute. She's in the moment.
No,
Like they
also,
don't ruin the moment.
no, like when he says, क्या कहते हैं, समीर आप हया को लेके गाड़ी में जाएं और मैं पाशा साहब के ऑर्डर के हिसाब से इनको मिस
इनको
उम्मीद को
उम्मीद
खुद
को
घर
छोड़
छोड़
मिस
दूंगा
उम्मीद को खुद छोड़ दूंगा. And then it goes from like Miss Umeed to
मिसेस फरजाद खान.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Farjaad
of
Khan.
course that's deliberately written.
हाँ.
Once they leave, he's like, चले मिसेस फरजाद खान.
हाँ.
ठीक है. Of course that's sweet. That's so sweet. वो उसको ठीक है. She's shy, but she's also, you can see she's happy.
She's happy. She's
She's so
enjoying it.
happy. She's enjoying this. She walks ahead and that shot. God bless who came. That shot where she's walking ahead in front of him. He's
And he's like
looking
literally like
back to look if he's
scroll.
following. She
Yeah.
turns back to look if he's following, and he has his hands behind his back,
And he's literally
so
scrolling.
and he's
He's
so confident,
scrolling along.
and
I
he's
swear.
staggering behind her.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they never emasculate Farjad.
Yeah.
He's still a very desirable man,
Exactly.
but he's a desirable man because of his capacity. Like he's a big personality
He's sure of
because
himself.
he can love someone as big as Umeed.
Yes. He's sure of himself.
He's sure
Like,
of himself.
yeah.
He is not this man isn't insecure enough that you can't laugh at him.
Exactly.
He can
Yeah.
let this girl laugh at him.
Because he has that, he doesn't feel like it takes away. Because he's like, why?
He doesn't take away anything from him.
Yeah.
He
And
enjoys
he
the
knows
fact that
about-
this girl is happy with him.
Exactly. Like,
So that
doesn't
moment
feel
when
like
she turns back to see if he's following her, and he has his hands behind his back, like super amused, just calmly walking behind her, right?
yeah.
That moment is very sweet. It's also very sexual.
Yeah.
It's
This whole episode, let's be real. This whole episode.
there's sexual tension between the two of
Yeah.
them in a
Yeah.
very kind of PGY sweet way. But like there is like that scene is shot in a way where there is desire between them.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is why, by the way, people say they want like more content with like chemistry and actual wo sta karke. The amount of people who are so triggered by the car scene is insane to me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I don't
like
get why.
I don't get it. There was nothing creepy
That is
about it. There was
the
nothing
way of
weird about
showing
it.
two people wanting each other.
And the whole thing about, oh my god, I get weird fuckboy vibes from him and everything is just like,
Let's talk about that for a second. Man, I don't know what weird hang up people have with sex. Okay. Desiring someone is romantic.
it is. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Someone wanting you is romantic. It's part of romance.
Also,
They're not
people
two
have
separate things.
and like the thing is that these two people are interested in each other, theek hai? They are pursuing each other. And it's a very
Very
consensual kind
beautiful
of thing.
woman. He's a very
It's a-
good looking man. They're sitting
Exactly.
in a car together at 3 in the night.
And like,
They want each other.
and I don't know why people feel uncomfortable if it's in a local context. Like this is also a thing, by the way.
Yeah, but
It's uncomfortable to people.
not just in being in a local context. Like it's this thing of like, for some reason, like like that really weird thing that जो आपको बचपन से मिलती है, that a man who likes you will not think of you sexually,
Yeah.
which is not true.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, the whole Siraf thank you thing really bothered people.
Yeah, but then the Sirf thank you thing was so good, like so good,
It
because
was so good. I loved it.
it was so loaded with not just sexual desire.
But it could be anything, right?
Yeah, but also the fact that that's all you're going to say to me.
Yeah,
Like they haven't
exactly.
confessed they like each other yet.
Why not? That's what I'm saying. Ke I don't know why you're like jumping to like, oh, he's such a creep or everything. It could mean anything. And I took it to mean he probably says thank you, kind of, I love you, nahi bolna,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like that
that's
could
what
be
I took
the man
as.
just being like,
Yeah,
hey, I just bailed you out.
like, और कुछ नहीं कहना, like, that's the thing, like, और कुछ नहीं कहना तुमने मुझे,
See,
nothing else you want to
it's
say
a
to me.
good dialogue because it flows both ways, right? There is
Exactly.
sexual desire in that dialogue, but there's also like this demand for love.
Yeah, it's a
And
very healthy
exactly.
kind of given, like, it's a very healthy kind of environment that's going
Yeah.
on. I don't know why people hate it. Like, I don't find it. I think the only way you could find it uncomfortable is if you were like,
I haven't
you
seen
took
the
this
show.
clip out of, you haven't seen the show. Exactly. And people were saying it, I don't know the show, but this is so weird. And I'm like, if you haven't
Know
seen
the
the show, then
show. Also,
मैं
it's
इसका
not
कोई भी चीज़
weird.
उठा कर,
Like even out
it's
of
not weird.
context, I don't see how
It's
they
not weird.
like
It's not
if
weird
I am
out of
watching this
context.
out of context and I know this is a romance show and like she says thank you and he's like sir thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very normal,
see,
right? Also, वही बात है कि like, I don't know why people find it weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's such a flirty kind of thing to say. It's such a flirty, harmless thing kind of
you
like
want your
sometimes
boyfriend to say something like this to you.
exactly. Like it's and he doesn't even say it like in an expecting kind of way. It's genuinely a very playful kind of way he says
Yeah,
it. Like you're like,
thank
sir,
you.
thank you. Like he doesn't actually expect her to say or do anything else.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like it's not just like
yeah.
yeah.
It's not like he's asking her to do anything. Like it
Yeah.
flows both ways. It expresses desire. It also expresses love.
Yeah.
Both those things can coexist. Stop with your hang up.
Also, of course, like that scene where she's looking at him and he knows she's looking at him and he smirks.
You,
Like that
I am all for Haya and Samir. I love them.
yeah.
They could have just given this to her for Jada and Umeed. We didn't need Haya and Samir in a car. You didn't need to have interrupted them. Like the energy in that car is so palpable.
It is.
It
It
is so
really is.
palpable. You
It
know,
was so much that even I as a viewer was like, okay.
I can't watch.
Okay.
I've seen that show. So I've seen that episode so many times. I still can't watch it without like this bigger grin
Because
on my face.
I swear. And like the first time I watched it, I was blushing.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna
Oh,
lie.
for sure.
I
Like
was
sitting in
blushing.
my room
I was
alone,
literally like this.
sitting in
I
my
was like
room alone,
giggling.
fully in my late 20s, as if like this is the first time I've seen a boy and a girl interact, just blushing like, yeah.
And I do not blush by the way when I look at
Yeah,
couples
listen, I've
anymore.
seen much more, like, I've seen other things.
Yeah, वो ना
I've
like
seen like
we've
certain
seen
sex scenes. Okay, like, it's not a big deal. I get it.
like मैंने Bridgerton देखा है अभी
Ah,
recently, ठीक है?
exactly, exactly. Like,
I
Bridget
did not blush.
is the soft part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, this happening in your own context, where love can feel so sweet,
Ha.
but desire can still be innocent,
Exactly. And
that
like
that does things, man.
and you are seeing these two people grow. Like they are
Yeah,
people in your local context. You are watching them grow together, and it's like these
you
friends.
know what it's like to be this girl.
Yes,
You
exactly,
know what it would
exactly,
feel like to get this kind of attention from a man.
exactly, exactly. And even like the small thing where everyone was losing their minds about good damad vibes. ठीक है? I was like watching that with a
Listen,
grin on my face.
people don't get it. Farjaad handling Pasha Saab on call in that police station was very hot.
Very hot. It was very hot, and it was also very hot when he came back, and he was
Haha.
like,
But in
"आ
that
जाओ ना guys,
moment,
मैं यहाँ हूँ ना."
yeah, but in that moment where he's just like, जी बच्चे हमारी तरफ हैं.
Yeah, like can you imagine like someone just take being like, "मैं like I'll handle it," right? Even in the finale, right,
Hmm.
where like she's scared of her dad, like, and he was like,
I'll
Umeed,
handle
aap
it.
andar jao, I'll handle it. Even in that
I hated the finale, but
dumpster
yeah.
fire, dumpster fire of that finale,
So
this was
bad. It's so bad.
that needs an entire different वो like एक पूरा उसके ऊपर part चाहिए होगा हमें. लेकिन like this small thing it just stands out, right? Like, can you imagine like living your whole life not depending on anyone, not being able to depend on anyone, and then there's just this guy who's like, मैं कर लूंगा, and he does it without condescension or like like you owe me kind of thing. It's just natural to him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not even condescension. It's just And this is natural, right? Because when he first establishes his relationship with Pasha Saab, he thinks he's on Pasha Saab's team.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now he knows what this girl's house looks like.
Yeah.
And now he knows how to play this man.
Which is why the finale makes no sense.
Yeah, which is why the finale makes no sense. But he knows how to play this man.
Yeah.
You know, like the Asadullah scene is like iska naam hi Asadullah nahi. Naam hi
It's like
Asadullah
it
nahi.
looks like
That is
even
Farjaad knowing this man trusts me blindly. मैं इसको कुछ भी बोलूंगा ये मानेगा.
हाँ, it escalates like
Yeah.
it goes from वो प्लान कर रहा है कि वो उम्मीद के सारे पैसे लेके दुबई लाइक हड़प कर ले और दुबई भाग जाए और ना
Word to किस्म का इंसान नहीं पसंद है.
टूफस किस्म का इंसान है पाशा साहब और ना इसका नाम तो सब्जुल्ला ही नहीं
नाम ही Asadullah नहीं है. And then he has this moment of like,
what did I just say?
like,
And then he
quiet
does his
because he's
side
like,
eye.
"Oh God, he has pushed this."
Hamza Sohail's comedic timing is
That's so
amazing.
good. So good. Even that with that scene with Chachi. He's like,
So
इजाजत है,
good.
जाऊं. You know?
Or acha, I hate like cheesy jokes that are just like puns, by the way, ठीक है? But if they are done right, they are delightful. And the biggest example of this is that one scene where he goes like, शर्म को भी साथ ला रहा था. And he's so proud of himself. It's a horrible joke. It's the sort of joke if you make in real life, people will make fun
It was
of you
only
for
funny
days.
because of like the way that Farjaad is so callously happy in that moment.
Ha, exactly. Like you know that this is a bad joke, but he is on top. And
Yeah.
he's like, I know I'm on top right
Yeah.
now, you know.
It's so funny.
It's the same.
Like
It's
especially
the
the way
same.
he glances at the front door as if like this is a genuine question he's asking.
I feel like the way he's just like, शर्म को भी लाया था साथ, and he's so proud of himself.
Yeah.
He is this man, by the way, is always so proud of himself for telling a bad joke, and I am so behind it. Like the way he says, ऊपर वाला खाना तो वैसे ही खा लिया है.
No, that was funny. कि मतलब कि ज़्यादा नुकसान तो नहीं हुआ हो, बड़ा जोक ऐसे
But like the way he's proud of
favorite is
himself.
him like thinking he's made a great comeback when she says मैं अंगारे नहीं चबाती, he's like मिर्चे तो चबाती हूँ.
That was a horrible joke. That was so bad. It was like, he was so proud of himself.
He doesn't even laugh. He just goes like क्या हुआ है? क्या?
हाँ, it's like the sort of thing that goes you go like ये क्या बोंगी मारी है इसने like क्या she's not like
He's
lost
so
for
proud of
words,
himself.
like,
It took him 27 episodes to get the last word in. He's so proud of himself.
and he knows it. He knows he got the last
Yeah,
word.
yeah. He hangs up immediately. उसको मौका ही नहीं देता.
It can't get better than this.
But like, no, I mean that scene in the car. Let's talk about how Umeed is like completely unabashed. In
She doesn't
desire.
look away. She does not look away.
He's blushing under her gaze. She knows. Forget he's blushing. She starts that conversation.
Yeah.
तो वो मिसेस फरजाद खान करके उसको गाड़ी में ले गया. बैठे हुए वो. They're alone in a dabba right now. He's not bringing this up.
Yeah.
You know, I am a fully grown adult woman who believes in feminism. And if I was in her place, I would have shut up so hard. I was like, let's never discuss.
Let's never talk about what happened.
Let's never, like, we will pretend for the rest of our lives that this never happened unless you bring it up. In which case, I will deny it.
I will be like, that was just that was
Yeah, it was just a bad moment, man. I needed someone to bail me out. Just like, क्या हो सकता है? Thanks for showing up. Proud of you. Thanks for being a good friend. But she starts the call. He's smiling. He's happy. That's all he's doing.
like आप हंस रहे मेरे पे,
He
and she
wants
knows
to
he's
know
not.
what's going on in his head.
She knows he's not laughing at her.
No,
But she
of
wants
course
to
she
know
knows
what
he's
it
not
is.
laughing at her. Of course she knows he's flattered. Like, she wants to know what's going on. She wants to talk about what she's just done.
Yeah.
She wants her to
And what
acknowledge
he
that
just
this
said.
happened.
And what he just said at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And he's like, मुझ पे हंस रहे हैं? He's like, नहीं, तुम्हारे झूठ पे हंस रहा हूँ. And this is the only time Umeed admits that she's a liar. At every point, she says, हाँ मैं बोलती हूँ झूठ. You know, this is the first time she says, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलती, कहानियाँ बनाती हूँ.
Yeah.
And he replies, अच्छी कहानियाँ बनाती हो. And she's like, है ना?
Yeah, like I love, like, the show is so clever with its writing.
Yeah.
It's very clever with its writing.
She doesn't let him deny this moment by saying तुम कितना झूठ बोलती हो.
Yeah.
इसलिए मैं झूठ नहीं बोलती, मैं कहानियां
It was
बनाती
just
हूँ.
fun. I created a story.
I
Like,
created a
it's like
story.
implied
I
that the
didn't
story can
lie.
come true. That story can come true.
I wasn't lying. I was telling a story. To which he replied, "That was a good story."
It was a good story. Exactly.
And she's happy about the fact that she's like, he says, it's a good story, right?
Yeah.
And then when he says, तुम novel लिखना शुरू कर दो, he's like, मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं आप मेरा, you know. फिर क्या होता है? He's like, नहीं, serious हूँ,
नहीं, serious हुआ है, हाँ.
नहीं serious हूँ मैं. उसके बाद कुछ और बोलता है वो. नहीं, and then she says, एक बात बोलूं, which is the first time she's asked for permission to speak. He's like, एक बात बोलूं, and like that very domestic बोलो, when like he glances at her, he glances ahead, he
Yes,
knows what's about to happen.
that is such a husband thing to
That
do,
is such a
man.
husband move. A, that, and B, like मैं एक बात बोलूं, it's a pregnant pause. It can be anything. Like at this
Yeah.
point, she can tell him she loves him,
Yeah.
you know, and he doesn't make eye contact. He glances at her, but then he looks forward. He doesn't make eye contact. He pretends to be calm about this. He's like, bolo, and she's like, thank you,
Thank you. And the way
and then
she
he's like,
says it is so
thank you,
cute. Thank
and that
you.
is when he gets the confidence of just being like, Sif, thank you,
Huh.
you know. And then when she starts gazing at him with so much love, because she loves this boy in this moment, you know.
And she gets like
He
so
called him
overcome.
up in 3 in the night. He showed up. He pretended to be her husband. He bailed her out. He didn't reprimand her once. He's
Once.
smiling and laughing and giggling in this car with him. रात के 3 बजे वो इस लड़के के साथ उसकी गाड़ी में बैठी हुई है, उसकी front seat पे, like she's flirting with him. He's flirting back. She loves him so much in this moment. She's so happy
Yeah.
that she can't stop staring at him.
Huh. And it's like natural. Like, it's just like, oh my god. Like, I cannot look away. Right.
Yeah,
And he's like, like he's
and you have
smirking, but
the
also
same
blushing.
gaze in the OST.
Yeah.
You know, where she's just
Exactly.
gazing at him unabashedly because she's so in love with this boy. And once
Huh.
Mead realizes that she likes this boy, she does not take away any affection from him. She doesn't
Even
pretend
in
she's
the
too shy to want him. She wants
even
him.
in
She
the
wants him
last
to know she wants him.
even in the last episode, Umid's the one who does not break eye contact. Like
No.
Farjaad keeps like, he does this and then he does this and then he does this, right? She's gazing straight at him like the
Yeah.
whole time. Like it's
Yeah.
like direct, like all my love is
Her
pouring
credit to
out right
Flair.
now
She's
and
so good.
directed.
Like this could look inappropriate, but she makes it look so desirable. She
She,
isn't being shy. She isn't being shy. She's being very
yeah,
forthcoming with her affection. But like she
yeah,
makes it look hot.
yeah. And
It's
not weird.
not weird, not hot in a weird way. Weird in like this is the female desire way.
Yes.
This is what a woman who desires a man looks like. You know?
Exactly.
He's not a vamp like planning and plotting how to get this boy to marry her. This is a girl in love who's not too shy to express it.
Huh, and it's not even like a, oh no, I'm falling in love, I don't know what to do about it kind of
Not
gaze.
not some
It's a
soft
straight on, I love this man, like I
yeah.
love this man, I want to spend my life with
He's
this
not
man.
being some like virginal kind of like, like I am untouchable, don't touch me. Like she's not being
I
that
have
person.
never felt, I have
I have
never
never
felt
felt a
desire or
man's touch.
romance.
She's not being that person. She's being very forthcoming with her affection.
Exactly.
And that
Yeah,
also works because you've established Farjad as someone who's very vulnerable in love, who's okay
exactly.
with
Yeah,
being vulnerable in love. If this man pretended to be too proud to love someone or to be loved, and you show this woman gazing at him this lovingly, it would have looked very wrong.
it would have just looked sad, like,
It
and very
not
pathetic,
only would
right?
it have looked sad, this woman would have looked desperate.
Yeah, exactly, like very pathetic kind of way, like, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
she's just
that's
like
the man
gazing at him.
character in every show, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
tension you're dealing with, right? This man wants this woman, but that other woman wants him,
yeah,
and that one
because
woman
he never
who's like the personification of piety wants no one.
she wants no one.
She
वो,
wants no one.
like,
Like वो उसका हाथ पकड़ेगा,
she
वो अपना
wants
हाथ
no
पीछे कर लेगी, नहीं नहीं नहीं, like मैं शादी हो गई यार, you can sleep with him, it's fine.
Oh, Allah, like, please, like, don't even get me started on like this glorification of modesty culture, which is like, oh, I'm married now, don't touch me, like, and that's considered good and
By her
normal and
own
healthy.
husband, हमारे
भाई
drama
ये
में your own husband touches your hand and you pull back. Why the fuck?
and like it's shown as like the ultimate sort of piety, like मेरी बीवी इतनी
Yeah,
पाक है कि वो मेरा हाथ भी नहीं पकड़ती. ओ
yeah.
भाई, ओ भाई.
पकड़ लो भाई. Right? You
तो
have
तुम
that.
खुद सोचो क्यों नहीं पकड़ी भाई तुम्हारी बीवी तुम्हारा हाथ.
The reason when Umeed gazes at him lovingly and Farjaad is blushing under like his, this is the opposite. In every show,
Yeah,
it's the opposite. It's the man who gazes with desire. It's the woman who
exactly.
blushes.
Yeah,
यहाँ पे she called him in the middle of the night. He showed up. He's been the perfect person he could be in this moment, and she loves him so much here that she keeps looking at him with desire, and he keeps blushing under her gaze that he can't make eye contact with her, and that only works because up until now you've established Farjad as someone who's willing, who's put his heart on the line for this girl,
yes. And
who's
and and
stupid,
like
who's vulnerable, who's silly in love.
and everything about those characters has led up to like
This
the
moment,
culmination of everything. Exactly, the culmination of everything कि ये mutual है. Like इतना ठोक ठोक के डाल दिया गया है ये mutual है, which is what
yeah,
makes this scene work.
yeah, yeah. It's not uncomfortable. You
Yeah,
you love
it's
him.
intimate.
You're so
It's
happy
intimate.
for them here.
Yeah, it's like an intimate scene, like an
Yeah, it's
actual
an intimate
intimate
scene.
scene.
Yeah, it's an intimate scene where nothing happens. But you're like, yeah,
Hmm.
man, this is what a woman who desires a man looks like.
It's also like very
She's not like
oh
a
god.
jeans wearing, plotting, conniving vamp. It's this
The thing
girl.
is, this also shows that ठीक है, censorship aside, you can show this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like we have like stuff like Pride and
I
Prejudice,
mean,
right?
honestly, I thought when he says Sif, thank you, like a peck on the cheek would have also been lovely, but like, fine, I guess.
It would censor क्या करें. ये तो नहीं, इतना प्यार हमें नहीं मिलेगा
नहीं,
screens में. अगर इतना प्यार हमें
होता
screens पे
दिखाए
मिल
हम
जाता,
प्यार जब
this
जब अपने
honestly,
हाथ पे दिखा सकते हैं.
वो मैं कह रही हूँ कि like if our screens could show like love, then we as a society would not be where we are today.
Yeah,
We would
yeah,
be in a
sure,
much
for
better
sure, yeah.
place. Like प्यार से लोगों को कुछ उलझन होना
It
शुरू हो
would be a
जाती
lot
है.
easier to explain to people what consent is if
By
you
the way,
on
which
screen.
reminds me, can we talk about how it's okay to show like an implied rape scene multiple times,
Yeah,
like in every other drama, but God forbid a male side hugs a female? Like,
man, I can go on such a huge fucking rant about this, but like, let's not because
let's
फिर
not.
वो हम save करके रखते हैं आखिर के लिए.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
But like, we'll get to it. But yeah, like that's what works, right? Like, you can have tension without showing anything
Yeah,
if you are doing it right.
yeah, and it works, right? And like, then he goes to her house, right?
Yeah,
They push him forward, right?
yeah,
He's like, "Acha, aa jao, main hoon na." Like, like that's what I'm saying, right? Like Farjad is a man who blushes under a woman's gaze, but he's also a man who can walk into a house and go like, "Acha, aa jao, main hoon na, I'll handle this."
yeah. Because
That's
he
what
doesn't,
makes
again,
Farjad like a great romance hero.
because this man does not exist as a fulfillment of a writer's desire, ठीक है, or
Like,
B, a
unlike
trope.
another man on screen right now whom we will talk about. Allah, yaar.
I just want to ask, who hurt you, right? Who hurt you? What feminist hurt you? Please explain to me. वो
We'll
कौन
talk
थी?
about it. We'll talk about it. But like, that's what I'm saying though, right? Like, जब ये मतलब उसकी तरफ, this man is beautiful because he is not too masculine to not blush when a woman is looking at him
Exactly.
with this much desire.
Yeah.
He'll blush. And like that scene where she's like, आपके दिल क्या कहते हैं, आपके भी दिल का दिमाग खराब हो गया है. And he backs
And you,
off and she pushes
yeah,
back like मेरा, he's like
like
दिल का भी
मेरा
दिमाग
तो
खराब
है,
है. He's like, मेरा तो है और खराब भी हो,
मेरा तो है. Yeah,
right? That line is so good. He uses it later.
yeah, yeah.
He's like, अब यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं? He's like, मेरे भी दिल का दिमाग खराब हो गया है.
मेरे भी दिल का दिमाग खराब हो गया.
Right? Like he's a man who's not always confident when he's flirting with her. He loses his footing with her. He blushes under her gaze. He loves this girl who's such a big personality, but he's also the person who would say, "मैं हूं ना, आ जाओ अंदर,"
मैं हूँ ना.
and then handle your father for you.
Yeah, because he's just like a very confident man who's also
Yeah,
a real person and
yeah,
will have like hiccups, and that's fine. right?
And he's confident enough to blush in front of her.
And it's
That
the
doesn't
same way as like,
step on his masculinity.
and it's the same way like Umeed, like, right? Like Umeed can flirt outrageously, but also have like itna sa self confidence at times,
Yeah.
right? Like she
Yeah.
can go like this, like
Yeah.
is tarah.
Like she can flirt, like when she initiates flirting, she's
Hmm.
unstoppable.
But as
But
soon
when
as she
he
gets like the
initiates
slightest
flirting,
hint, exactly,
he's like, what are you looking for? क्या
yeah,
चाहिए आपको?
exactly,
You know, like,
exactly.
क्या कर
Like
रहे हो आप?
foreign, her guards are up,
The
like
guards are up, and he knows, he also has the patience to know how to how to coax her guards down, like,
yeah,
let's be friends.
yeah. And
Let's
he
not
does this,
forget what happened.
and he does this twice, right? Like he
Yeah,
says आज के बाद से हम सब भूल गए twice,
yeah.
because he knows he's gonna have to keep saying
Keep
this,
saying
right?
it. Yeah.
अब थोड़ी देर के लिए ये
There is
होगा,
trust issues.
and
Of course, this will
and
happen.
he understands that he is part of the reason. He
Yeah,
knows that.
yeah,
He accepts it.
yeah,
मैंने किया है इसमें, and that's when इसके बाद he realizes अच्छा अब मैंने ये किया है ना, अब we need to have a conversation about
yeah,
this, and
yeah,
I need to formally apologize.
yeah. But like that scene when he comes home and he's so damad in that. He's
Yeah,
such a damad in that moment of like,
I
like
swear.
Abu Jan ke samne jhuk ke, he's like, "Acha Abu Jan, Khudafis,"
Okay,
like,
well now,
right? And then he steps out, and like the release of that tension that like even there in that moment, like uski gaadi ko kuch nahi hua.
yeah.
He just wants a reason to talk to people.
कुछ शर्म नहीं आती, like outright बस flirt कर रहा होता है, कुछ शर्म नहीं.
He's like, उम्मीद आप तब तक गाड़ी ना चलाइएगा. Hmm? And like he's standing so close to her, right?
हाँ, and I love how they make it a point to like make it like a shot, like a
Yeah,
proper shot of
yeah.
them.
Like he's standing so close to her, and then when he steps out and she waves by at him and he waves by at her, that's like the release of that tension that was building for like the whole scene.
Yeah, and like then he turns away and it's like,
Yeah,
like
that's it.
grinning.
Yeah, that's it. That's the scene.
Yeah,
Like that whole scene works because you
yeah,
established Umeed and Farjad to be two characters who would act this way in the car.
exactly. Like
It's not.
everything
It's not just
was
any
deliberate.
random two people doing this.
Exactly.
It's the two people
That's
you've
why.
been
That's
looking
why.
for the past 26
That's
episodes.
why. Yeah, that's why I don't say anything is a fluke anymore, because nothing
Yeah.
is fluke. इतना इस level का fluke भाई. They made some
मेरी बात
deliberate,
सुनो, as
very
someone who
good
writes, I
decisions.
can understand if like a writer's vision is not fulfilled. Like
Yeah,
I am certain like the reveal of the fact कि ये painting उम्मीद ने भेजी थी would have been bigger in the script. That would have been
yeah,
more of an oomph in the script. Did not come. But like stop thinking that you're seeing something in the show that the writer hasn't already seen it. As someone who
exactly.
writes, I can assure you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
thought about something in 20 different angles and you know
exactly.
exactly why your scene is working the way it's working.
Yeah,
It's not a fluke. They know what they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
That's it.
Because ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये एक दो दफा हो सकता है, right? Like
Yeah,
there's one very big
yeah. But
coincidence.
she
It's not a
actively keeps
multiple.
making the less obvious choice in a situation.
Yeah,
Farjad doesn't interrupt her wedding. She stops it.
exactly. And
Farjad isn't the one gazing at her in the car. She is gazing at him.
and this has a lot to do with the fact that again this writer genuinely likes her female
Umeed.
lead.
She loves Umeed.
She loves me. She like जो interview भी है, right?
Hmm.
She defends me when someone says, like I think when the interviewer says कि people think me is like a bit selfish and that's a very different choice, and she's like,
She's not
it's not
selfish.
selfish. She's not selfish. Like I didn't write her to be selfish. Like
It's a
I
girl.
love her. Yeah,
Yeah. Because sometimes your writer does not love your female character and then other things happen. But
sadness overcomes me, man.
but
I
like
was willing to give them a chance.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like, and then when like after this, it takes this long. Him finding out about the painting, him going to her house, her flirting with him talking to Pasha Saab ending the marriage, the phone, the whole scene happening, the her calling him as her husband.
Yeah,
Then Farjad has the courage to go flirt with her.
exactly. It's like everything builds
Like,
up.
and then that car scene happens where he's like, "Milna hai 2 minute," which by the way, what a mundane line, what a delivery.